A lot going on today.
Like what?
So, we just had a conversation.
What'd he say?
He's thinking about it. I think he's kind of leaning towards doing it. With everything, there are pros and cons. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's back and forth periodically. 3 weeks here, 2 weeks back, 2 months.
I'm split about his tour. My first response is I'm super happy for him for putting it together. The wife and mommy side of me is like, no, the wife side of me and mommy side of me is a little sad. You know, daddy's gonna be gone for a long time.
Chantel, Nelly's ex-boyfriend, has ignited the internet with what seemed to be hard, cold receipts of him cheating on Ashanti. If you believe this was a narrow-minded remark, you were wrong. She showed up with screenshots, timestamps, and a location identifier that matches Nelly's tour stop. However, as you are well know, Nelly and Ashanti were supposed to be living their dream life after secretly getting married, and this is when things start to become extremely weird. But instead of honeymoon bliss, we are facing the possibility of a divorce before they have even been together for 2 years. When Chantel disclosed all of this, it appeared as though she had planned her time, waiting for the perfect moment to inflict the most amount of suffering. Because of Nelly's actions when it went viral, people are now positive that Ashanti is already forcing her to leave. But if you thought this was horrible, wait until you see what Chantel really shared, because the screenshots did not just imply infidelity. They illustrated the whole sequence, from late-night texts to hotel reservations made throughout Nelly's tour dates. It seems that this was more than a one-time mistake, and everything points to the same conclusion. The worst part is that it might have happened at home with Ashanti and their new board. Come on, everyone. Come ride with me and get beaten up, because this is going to get crazy. It is really not astonishing that Nelly might have been cheating on Ashanti, because the marriage was already showing symptoms of distress before Chantel disclosed any receipts. And as you are all well aware, these two have a long history. They parted ways, got back together, and had a fairy tale wedding, but lately, that fairy tale has been more like damage control. Chantel's assertions were also not unexpected. As you all know, the couple's reality show showed more attention than affection, and they arrived a few weeks later. He came across as disrespectful, irritable, and, to be honest, unprepared for the Ashanti of today. Nelly did not seem to be a power couple. Vance clocked it right away too, because one of the biggest red flags was that Nelly was preparing to play at the presidential inauguration. It seemed like a momentous moment if you are a MAGA, but unless it was behind the scenes, Ashanti was clearly unhappy with it, and she says Nelly did not try to listen to her. In the video I will play, she outright asserts that he treated her concerns as though they did not matter.
A lot going on today.
Like what?
So, we just had a conversation.
What'd he say?
He's thinking about it. I think he's kind of leaning towards doing it. With everything, there are pros and cons. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
The situation worsens, though, when Nelly tells Ashanti directly in another episode clip that infuriates viewers that he will not help raise their son until the youngster is old enough to walk, talk, and be potty trained. He basically said, without embellishment, that he would not intervene until little Kareem was able to articulate his needs. Now think about the real implications of that. Ashanti is expected to take on the full weight of parenting every day, while Nelly is out touring, posting, and acting like he is so single. The way he said it, though, seemed more like a man who had already made up his mind than a joke.
Until he can say, I'm hungry. Until he can say, I need to use the bathroom. It's going to be a lot of him. But as soon as he started walking, I said, enjoy. Because as soon as he get to walking and talking, he went to cook.
When you factor in a little attitude, the suspicions of adultery, and everything that has transpired so far, it is starting to feel less like a rocky patch and more like Ashanti is raising his child and maintaining the marriage on her own. In the following footage, Ashanti discloses that Nelly never, ever gets up in the middle of the night to assist with the child, so it only gets worse from there. At the absolute least, you would assume he would regret it in some way, but instead, as if it were a source of pride, Nelly starts bragging about how well he sleeps, calling himself an excellent sleeper. Worse yet, he restates Ashanti's obligation to get up and look after their son. There was blatant misogynistic dismissal, as if it were unarguable, without any debate or compromise. He seemed as though he genuinely believed it, and you could tell by the way he said it that it was not just a one-time argument. Supporters are starting to wonder if Nelly was really ready for this marriage, or if he just desired the look of a family without the obligations. We are now seeing physical, daily parenting being thrown into Ashanti, in addition to emotional neglect.
I'm trying to understand, how is it that you just sleep through when he starts crying?
Do y'all really be up at night? I heard about it.
You know what? It's absolutely ridiculous that you'll still be dead asleep and he'll be mad loud. That's ridiculous.
You know? It's a gift, I guess.
Why is that a gift?
I'm blessed with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you back to this conversation we had. Before you kicked me under the table, I said, baby, I give you the world. I just ain't changing no diaper.
Oh my God.
Now that fans were not dragging anything for dirt, the criticism was swift. They did not show up right away, and there were rumors that their marriage was already in crisis mode. The rumors that had been going around for a while just ended when the episode aired, and fans saw how he really deals with Ashanti behind closed doors. They tried to stop everything with the joint interview, apparently hoping that it would calm things down, but it only made the situation worse. It was impossible to overlook the tension between them because of Ashanti's awkward responses, 4 grins, and lack of eye contact. The interview only confirmed what many fans already suspected, that this marriage might be about to fall apart. Fans were not convinced.
What were some of the challenges of filming with a baby?
What was some of the challenges of filming with a baby? I'm not gonna even front, like, you know, we have a great nanny. And I mean, whenever I can pry him away from you, it's been pretty much a breeze for me.
I'd say.
Yeah. I'll probably change 2.
I was just gonna say probably about 2, maybe 3, maybe.
A couple of PPs, about 1 booby. Yeah, I think I'm at my limit. Yeah. Didn't get you sewing this time.
I did.
Yeah.
I definitely did.
To make matters worse, Nelly's ex-girlfriend Chantel recently came up with serious charges that she had cheated on Ashanti while he was on tour. As you are all aware, he has been on the road for a while and has more shows planned in the upcoming weeks. However, this is the part that most surprised many. Chantel claims that after nearly every performance, Nelly allegedly had a different groupie backstage, and this has been occurring frequently. Furthermore, she did not just mention that. According to her, those directly involved in the situation are aware of all that is going on, and some of them are even speaking out. But if you have ever seen what really happens on these tours, you already know how it goes. After the lights go out, there is a drinking party and sometimes even drug use, and things get insane. Consequently, when Chantel made her accusations, they did not appear impossible. It seemed like someone was finally bringing a long-standing problem to light. Chantel adds that there is more to Nelly's tour than just music. There are also a lot of women present. As you remember, when Nelly originally told Ashanti that he was going back on the road, she was not exactly thrilled. In a video I will show you, she also says that she did not even think it was fair for him to leave her and her child alone while he performed all over the world. But on camera, he said that. According to insiders, Ashanti's real issue was not just one of parenting, but also one of trust because she is aware of Nelly and his background. So when he brought up tour buses and late nights, her instincts took over. But when a man with Nelly's past is surrounded by groupies night after night, it is not just a security issue. It is a pattern of recognition.
It's back and forth periodically. 3 weeks here, 2 weeks back, 2 months.
I'm split about his tour. My first response is I'm super happy for him for putting it together. The wife and mommy side of me is like, no, the wife side of me and mommy side of me is a little sad. You know, daddy's gonna be gone for a long time.
Nelly might still be out here doing a makeshift drill, it seems. After Chantel posted images of direct communications between Nelly and one of his alleged groupies in which he pleaded with her to persevere, the internet went into full swing. The signals were clear and left no space for interpretation. Nelly reportedly showed their overt infatuation and arrogance by asking this woman to see him after a show. This is hardly shocking, but to make things worse, the location fell on one of his most recent tour dates, since Nelly is apparently out here doing the most while Ashanti was at home, recovering and tending to their newborn. Ashanti thinks the whole thing to be incredibly embarrassing. Furthermore, There was no covert scandal involved, according to the prevailing discourse. There was no indication that he was even trying to be discreet. However, not everyone is entirely on board with Chantel's plans. So wait a moment. Some contend that this may not even be about Ashanti, while others think that Nelly is acting morally by revealing her own personality to the world. There has been a lot of talk about Chantel's ongoing hostility since Nelly allegedly promised to marry her before deserting her. Some people think that Chantel waited for the right moment to show her receipts so that everyone could notice the imperfections in this perfect photo, especially now that he has started a completely new life with Ashanti, marriage, child, and all. As a result, even though her receipts might be genuine, their motivations are doubtful. Only to make matters worse, she even defended him after he was allegedly accused of assailing other women while on tour. Furthermore, it seems that Nelly struggles to maintain his composure both on stage and in public. Do you all know what happened in 2018 when Nelly's name was used in a significant court case? Well, a 21-year-old college student named Monique made some disturbing statements. It happened right before a Florida-Georgia line show, she says. She reportedly saw one of Nelly's shows at a pub in Auburn, Washington, and was invited to an after party. Nothing out of the ordinary until they got on the tour bus. That is when it is said to have altered. According to Monique, the friendly conversation became extremely uncomfortable once Nelly walked her to the back of the bus. She claims that he started having fun in front of her without telling her, but it did not stop there. According to Monique, Nelly pleaded with her to spend the weekend with him as if nothing had happened after offering her an article. She went on to say that when she started her want to quit, Nelly and his employees did not just let her go. Monique says that when they brutally evicted her from the bus, Nelly threw a $100 bill at her as she was being led away, as though that was supposed to make things better. But the narrative became much more problematic when two women, identified as Jane Doe 1 and Jane Doe 2, came forward with their own charges. Jane Doe 1, a U.S. military service member stationed in the UK, said Nelly invited her and a friend to a VIP section after a show in England back in 2016. While there, she claimed he touched her inappropriately and tried to stop her from leaving when she intended to walk away, creating a situation that felt unsafe and threatening. Then Jane Doe 2 met Nelly during a meet and greet in Essex and said he later invited her to his dressing room. She claimed that after entering, Nelly began nuzzling him, repeatedly pushed her hand toward his privates, and attempted to tear off her top. She also said that he turned hostile after she declined, gripping his fist and telling her, "No, I'm just frustrated. I'm not used to not getting my way. Just do it." Nelly has not exactly had the best track record of keeping it in his pants. It is true, he has always been out here swinging that thing and has no shame. To tell the truth, that simply supports Chantel's claims that he cheated on Ashanti. But what is even more ridiculous is that Chantel was putting her 10 toes down behind him when these accusations first arose. She accused the woman of lying and went to considerable measures to defend him, she alleged. Those dates that these Jane Does are claiming I was at those venues, in the dressing rooms, and on that tour bus. There are women dealing with real issues. And for the first time, people are listening, and there was a chance for real change. But all of this work is discredited and makes things harder for survivors when people lie. Furthermore, Nelly did not merely thank Chantel in secret for supporting him at the moment. He expressed his gratitude in a public way. He gave her the kind of future commitment that gives the impression that he was sincere about getting married. He stated, in his own words, "I would not want my life to not have Chantel in it. We've been seeing each other for 5 or 6 years. Anytime you can connect with somebody like that, it works out for the long run. She's sweet, beautiful, and the more we got to know each other, she's just as beautiful on the side." And it was not just a casual remark. He made it sound awful after all that, shorty, but someone who had supported him through good times and bad, someone he saw himself marrying. And when you consider that she defended him throughout one of the lowest periods of his public image, even accusing the other lady of lying, it is easy to see why she probably believed all he said. But in retrospect, it is undoubtedly concealed in a different way, because in addition to breaking that promise, Nelly went back and started dating Ashanti again, got married, had a child, and basically erased what he had said to Chantel as if it had never occurred. It made her choice to tell him the truth seem much more personal, as though it were a response to years of betrayal rather than a whim. It definitely contains a villain. He is now being exposed by the woman who once defended him as if her life depended on it. Suddenly, the imperfections in Ashanti and Nelly's perfect picture are revealed. Despite the late-night themes, the tour bus secrets, and Ashanti's growing silence, this does not seem to be another setback. This seems to be a total collapse. And if Chantel had really kept these these receipts the whole time she waited, this was retaliation rather than exposure. The real question is if Ashanti will surprise us all by standing behind Nelly as well, or if this is Nelly's final blow. Nelly is most likely considering it a lot at the moment, because from our point of view, the fairy tale might already have turned into a horror.